At the beginning of the movie, it is revealed that the world is currently on the brink of destruction. There is only one advanced city that serves as the last refuge for humanity. However, to live there, people must undergo plastic surgery to become beautiful. Those who have not undergone the surgery are ostracized and referred to as Uglies. The story then shifts to the main character, a young woman named Tally. She is an ugly who has not undergone plastic surgery. Because of this, she is shunned and forced to live in a dormitory. In the dormitory, all residents undergo plastic surgery at the age of 17 to be allowed to live in the city center. Tally has a loyal best friend named Paris, and they both share matching scars on their palms. In a few days, Paris is scheduled to undergo plastic surgery and move to the city center. Before leaving, Paris promises Tally that he will not forget her and that they will meet under the bridge after his surgery. The long-awaited day arrives, and those who have turned 17, including Paris, are taken for surgery. Meanwhile, Tally is still 16 years old. Before Paris leaves, Tally reminds him not to forget her or their promises. Tally recalls the beginning of her friendship with Paris, remembering how they first met and created matching scars on their palms as a symbol of their lifelong friendship. A few days later, Tally becomes impatient to see Paris. One night, she goes to their meeting spot under the bridge, but Paris never shows up. Tally feels anxious and fears something might have happened to him. Finally, Tally gathers the courage to go to the city center to look for Paris. Suddenly, someone throws down a mask from above. Tally puts it on and realizes that it makes her look beautiful. She uses this opportunity to sneak into the city center and search for Paris. When Tally finally meets Paris, she feels confused by his slightly strange behavior. Even the scar on his palm has disappeared. Despite this, Tally tries to stay positive and persuades Paris to return home with her. However, Paris refuses and says he wants to stay in the city center. Shortly after, Tally's presence is detected by the city's guard robots. In a panic, she tries to escape. While attempting to cross under the bridge, a patrol ship spots her. Fortunately, a woman from the same dormitory as Tally comes to her rescue. After successfully escaping, Tally and the woman become closer. The woman, whose name is Shay, reveals that she shares the same birth date as Tally. Tally then tells Shay about her infiltration into the city center and her disappointment with Paris's changed behavior. However, news of Tally's daring infiltration spreads throughout the dormitory, making Tally worry that she might not be allowed to undergo plastic surgery. Shay teaches Tally how to ride a hoverboard, and the two grow closer. After that, Tally, who is ambitious to become beautiful, becomes impatient to wait for her turn to undergo plastic surgery. Unlike Shay, who chooses to live with the Smoke, a group that is considered a myth, Shay takes Tally to a place where they leave their rings on a tree branch. Shay asks Tally not to tell anyone about it. At that place, Shay calls for David, one of the members of the Smoke. The Smoke is a group of people who oppose plastic surgery and the government. They reject the imposed beauty standards and choose to live as they are, without surgery. The Smoke values a person's identity over outward appearances, living life much like normal humans. Shay invites Tally to join the Smoke, but Tally declines because she still wants to become beautiful. Shay gives her a piece of paper with instructions to find the Smoke if she changes her mind. After that, they part ways. Later, Tally is scheduled to undergo plastic surgery and move to the city center. However, when the time comes, she feels confused as her name is not called by the doctors. Suddenly, an official arrives and takes Tally to another location. During the journey, Tally asks if this is due to her disturbance in the city center, but the official remains silent. When she arrives at a room, Tally meets Dr. Cable, a doctor and the city's leader. Dr. Cable apologizes for delaying her surgery and then asks if Tally knows anything about Shay. Tally denies it, claiming she knows nothing. Dr. Cable believes Shay has been influenced by David and has defected from the government. Dr. Cable offers Tally a deal. If Tally provides information about Shay, her plastic surgery will be done immediately. However, Tally chooses to stay silent because she has made a promise. As a result, Dr. Cable sends Tally back to the dormitory, instructing her to report any information about Shay. Back at the dormitory, Paris suddenly visits Tally, which makes her very happy. Paris persuades Tally to tell the truth so her plastic surgery can proceed and they can be together again. Under this persuasion, Tally eventually reveals information about Shay's departure. Dr. Cable then orders Tally to bring Shay back. She explains that the Smoke is a group of defectors who want to destroy the city. They even possess advanced weapons capable of wiping out human civilization. As preparation, Dr. Cable gives Tally a high-tech tracking necklace, instructing her to press the button on it as soon as she reaches the Smoke's headquarters. Now, Tally has a new mission and begins her journey to find Shay. She follows the instructions on the piece of paper Shay gave her. The clues lead Tally to a sea of white flowers, where she waits for members of the Smoke to pick her up until she falls asleep. Elsewhere, Paris is sent by Dr. Cable to persuade Tally. Paris is even enhanced to appear more perfect than before. When Tally wakes up, she finds the flowers around her burning. Suddenly, a man named David appears and rescues her. Before taking Tally with him, David thoroughly inspects her body to ensure there are no tracking devices. However, he fails to detect the advanced tracking necklace Dr. Cable gave her. After confirming it is safe, David takes Tally to the Smoke's headquarters in the middle of the forest. Shay, who is there, is overjoyed and surprised that Tally has chosen to join them. Late at night, Tally tries to convince Shay to return to the city, but Shay refuses outright. Shay reminds Tally that she still does not have a clear desire to join her. Shay gives Tally time to decide whether to stay with her or return to the city. Shay knows that Tally's real purpose in finding her is not to join the Smoke, but to take her back. The next morning, David takes Tally to burn the white flowers spreading across the forest. Tally asks, "Aren't these flowers beneficial and used as fuel for the city's machines?" David explains that the flowers are actually harmful to the environment because they absorb all the nutrients from the soil. Hearing this, Tally is shocked, as this fact was never taught at the dormitory. They start burning the flowers, but suddenly a group of soldiers attacks. Tally manages to save Shay from being captured by Dr. Cable's soldiers. After the incident, a Smoke member named Croy becomes suspicious of Tally, believing she is the reason the soldiers found them. Shay denies the accusation. David defends Tally, even praising her bravery for saving Shay's life. The next day, David takes Tally and others to visit the Smoke settlement. Upon arriving, Tally is amazed by the cooperative and supportive lifestyle of the Smoke residents. However, Croy accidentally catches Tally opening a basement door. Tally claims she is looking for water. That night, David informs the group that the city's soldiers are much closer than before. Tally feels uneasy, but David remains calm and prepares his group to fight back. The following day, David teaches Tally how to use a bow and arrow, considering it a basic survival skill in the wild. On the way back, one of the Smoke members is attacked by Dr. Cable's soldiers, who are stronger than ever. Shay becomes increasingly convinced that the attacks are connected to Tally. Shay demands that Tally decide whether to join the Smoke or return to the city. Tally denies Shay's accusations. Growing closer to David, Tally asks if the Smoke has weapons to destroy the city. David then takes her to meet his parents. David's parents, who were once plastic surgery doctors, explain that the surgery caused many deaths due to brain lesions or abnormalities. They realized the procedure stripped people of their identity, leaving them controlled by false happiness. When David's parents attempted to research and improve the procedure, Dr. Cable shut them down to maintain control over the city's population. As a result, they were labeled rebels and fled to the Smoke. They have been working on a cure to reverse the brain lesions, but the main ingredient is only available in the city. Hearing all of this, Tally decides to join the Smoke. She burns the tracking necklace given by Dr. Cable as a symbol of her commitment. However, unbeknownst to her, the necklace activates and transmits the Smoke's location to Dr. Cable. The city's soldiers launch an attack, capturing many Smoke members. David's parents are also taken, and David's father is killed for refusing to give information. Witnessing this, Tally becomes furious with Dr. Cable for breaking their agreement. The Smoke residents, including Shay and David, feel betrayed by Tally. As an apology, Tally promises to help David rescue the captured Smoke members. Tally and David devise a plan to infiltrate the city. With the help of Tally's friends, they create chaos to distract the soldiers. While sneaking into Dr. Cable's headquarters, they find the captured Smoke members, including Shay. However, they are shocked to see that Shay has undergone plastic surgery and has changed. After being caught, they were then forced to undergo plastic surgery by Dr. Cable. Fortunately, the Smoke team arrived and thwarted it. When they were about to escape, Paris was already in front of them. Tally attempts to bring Paris back to his senses by reminding him of their shared memories, including the scar on his hand. Just as Paris begins to regain clarity, David, remembering his father's death, attacks him.
Squid.
In the end, they manage to escape. At their hideout, David's mother reveals an experimental cure she had hidden in David's pocket. This cure is intended to restore everyone's minds. Initially, Shay is chosen as the test subject, but she refuses. As they discuss who should volunteer, Tally suddenly offers herself as the subject. However, to undergo the experiment, Tally must first have the surgery. Despite everyone's objections, Tally insists on her decision and apologizes for her past actions. She surrenders herself to Dr. Cable to undergo the surgery she had once desired. In the end, Tally becomes beautiful as she had always dreamed. The story concludes.